lay out. I thought today was a good practice. Coming back off the scrimmage. Got a chance to challenge some guys, just wanting more in performance. Some guys some of our best players are continuing to get better, and I've seen it for the last 9 practices, and it's just that that constant sense of urgency for improvement. I thought that showed up today, and it was really competitive. Offense started off great in practice today. Had some really good periods. Early in practice, middle part of practice. Defense responded well late. Had some good back and forth. Situational work. Tried to challenge guys just to force them to continue to think about the situations that are showing up. And because we want to be a smart football team, had some really good plays. One of the things I'm pleased with, a couple tip pass interceptions. Balls got to be caught. A couple opportunities for receivers that the balls were tipped, but we made some exceptional interceptions. And Coach Surtain's been working a lot with our guys. Have been a big point of emphasis of trying to create takeaways. And we've always, it's one thing to emphasize it, but I really think that the buy-in from those guys in the defensive backfield. I mean, there was a couple just extraordinary plays. I thought the quarterbacks located the ball for the most part pretty well today. Got to continue to push that, but a lot of competition, a lot of good back and forth. So I thought it was all in all a good day.
You talked about some of your best players continuing to get better. Who are some of those guys?
Jordan Travis, Jared Verse. I mean, those guys. Lawrence Toafili's been remarkable through this. I think Johnny. It's impressive to see what he's doing. I could go through a long list of guys. I mean, you look at just the mindset of what they're bringing. Jerry Jones, I think I mentioned him in the scrimmage. Renardo Green. I like what I'm seeing in the defensive backfield. Just the growth and the competition and the versatility that they're showing. So there's a lot of guys that have played a lot of football. You feel their desire to get better, and I know it's an easy thing to say. Well, I just want to get better, but it's another thing to come out whenever your body's a little sore, you're tired, and you have that day one push to go and show it. So that's some good work.
How often are you surprised in the scrimmage? Is it usually pretty much what you expect to see?
There's some things that I'm always. Or what do you mean? Like, do you mean?
Like somebody that jumps out that you haven't noticed as much?
Oh no, that's happened. There's some guys that they get out and and whatever the stage is, they rise to the occasion and they just bring a different level I guess execution in that moment, and sometimes it's good and sometimes it's also bad. And for me, I try to get a big picture scope. Is what is the identity of this team based off of what I'm watching in a scrimmage, and usually it's one thing to see point of contact. It's another thing to watch away from the contact, away from the play. How are guys chasing the ball? What's the passion? What's the pursuit? Are guys allowing in a game setting? Do you see the emphasis of fundamentals showing up? Are they getting in good stances? Are they taking proper first steps? If that does, when you see that, then you know that there's a intent, and that's really big, for us. And so those are the things I'm looking for more. Not that anything shocks you, but it's just I want to see that application.
During a scrimmage, is there something you're keeping an eye on? And when you go back and rewatch, is there something else you kind of just seeing what jumps out, or?
You always it's hard to see all 22, especially for my position. I'm trying to look at both sides of the ball, and there'll be. I'll have a pretty good sense of it from being on the field, but then coming off, there's maybe the consistency of work, or are guys having flash plays, or are they able to go out and were they consistent in what they were doing? And so it's always good to get that work in those evaluations.
Was there a little more 11 on 11 today than usual?
It was. Because I wanted to. It's kind of as we get to this point of spring, I think there's a lot of good fundamental work, and we need the application of it. I want to see guys continue to perform. We a little less pods, a little bit more team. We had we didn't have one-on-ones today, and just kind of had an extra period of team. So it was good work. Put in some different variations of things that we do offensively, and so I wanted to get a good look at that.
And talk about when CJ.
Are you kidding me?
when CJ does something well, it seems like the response is huge. Is that?
I'm sorry, I'm not even listening to your question.
All right, let's take just.
All right, CJ. You said CJ.
When CJ does something good, it seems like there's a big reaction from the team. Is that because of their relationship to him, or is that because of just the quality of the play?
I mean, I think it's both. I mean, I think he's really growing as a player, and just you feel. I mean, he's a remarkable young man, a remarkable teammate, and just the worker that he is, the effort he puts in, how much he cares about his teammates. I mean, he's a selfless, young man that really does. He cares about all those that he gets to be around, and so. You feel that in the response whenever he has success. You see how much he's appreciated from the rest of his team.
Circling back to what you said at the beginning about Coach Sertan trying to put an emphasis on creating turnovers, besides down and distance leverage and kind of knowing what's going on, how do you do that? How do you create turnovers?
Obviously it's there's got to be intent. There's got to be the different, work. I like some of the things he's incorporated in some of the ball drills. Some of the tip passes, and then, it's also building in confidence of. In all things. Football's such a strange game because you can work techniques and fundamentals, but putting guys in those situations and maybe having just a little different perspective of how you're emphasizing it, whatever clicks and can build confidence in that. It's one thing for guys to think, oh, don't drop this. It's another thing, go make this. And so I think he's doing a really nice job. I like what I'm seeing, and with these guys. Some of the things we're trying to make sure we provide opportunities as well, but even today, there's 2 tip pass interceptions. We're just great plays, and guys were prepared in that moment, and they have confidence to go make them.
Is Hykeem Williams starting to kind of settle in?
He's had to, it's just he's still working on catching, I'd say catching up to the speed of the day in, day out, I'd say the tempo of things are, but you're seeing some plays that show up that get you really excited. It's just the consistency of it, and I think him and Dre both this last week. They had a couple really good days. Probably the scrimmage. Even though Hykeem had a couple plays. Dre, but you can tell that they're working through a lot, and today there was a couple of good. Same thing. You see a couple good, and then he's just trying to battle through. And I love this for all of the newcomers. We got 10 guys that are high school, incoming guys. They should be in high school. They should be, going through spring, getting ready for prom and all that. They're out here, busting their butt, working, and it's going to do wonders for their future. And I love. He's such a smart young man, and he really wants to be great. He has to trust that process of growth, and I think some of that is showing up.
You're good. Thanks, Coach.